Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on my channel, and I'd like to make a couple announcements. I'm very sorry I did not do week 13 of NFL picks because this is going to be week number 14. We're already up there and we're almost at the end of the season, so I'd like to say that I'm sorry I've not been keeping up. Now bear with me folks, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff going on in my family. Now, I mean, you all know what's been going on, with, on Facebook too, and in case, anybody does not know, I was going to do a Thanksgiving video, and I did film it, but folks, I did not get a chance to do that because I was extremely busy, and then the next week I was busy too, and thank you all very much for the thoughts and prayers for what's been going on, from what happened to my grandparents. I mean, I'm going to be honest, folks, it's been hell, and it's still hell. I mean, I'm trying to find a job around here, and I'm trying to make some changes to do something, but continue, the thoughts and prayers for all of us, and also that I get a job somewhere. I mean, I've already applied for a bunch of other places, and I've had some training as well, so, but I didn't get the job, so hopefully I'll get another one. I'm not giving up, like as they always say, so there you go. Okay, so once again, I'm back doing week 14 NFL picks, and this time I have a guest with me this time, and it's been a while since I've done this video with this certain person. He's a very good friend of mine, and along with many others too, and I'll let him introduce himself as, I'd like to, see what he has to say.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Tim McClellan here. Yeah, Steve is right. We haven't done one of these together in quite some time, but I'm not really doing anything right now, and he asked if I'd join along, so I said, what the heck, let's do it.
Yeah. Yep, so I appreciate him joining in, and I've done, a few with Alex Putnam as well, but I try to get people to join in so I can, have somebody, join me. Even though Christine does join sometimes with me, but Christine just watches my picks that I do, and I'll say to her, do you think the Ravens are going to win? And all she just says is, yeah, hun. And I'm like, there you go, that's my girl. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd just get some more people to join, so there you go. And appreciate Mr. McClellan joining in, so let's get right into this. So,
Right.
For the picks, sorry?
Take the shades off, and I have to put the reading glasses on, because that's usually what happens when you get older. I've been wearing glasses now for the last 3 years, and I mean, people like it. I mean, I like things okay. So
I like it too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. So,
all right.
I mean, I used to wear glasses back when I was 6, 7, and 8 years old, but I stopped after that. I had some trouble reading, but I feel like I do need them again, but I don't know about that yet, so pretty much, we'll see. So anyway, for our games from last week, week 13 now, even though I didn't do any picks, but let's just say a lot of the games there pretty much were not what I thought was going to go down. I mean, for one, there were a few upsets. I mean, how do you explain this one? The Cowboys beating the Saints.
Yeah. Nobody, and I say nobody, gave the Cowboys a chance in hell against those Saints. And what happened? We stepped up. We were tenacious. A team that has been averaging anywhere between 35 and 40 points a game, we held them to only 10 points. Are you kidding me?
Indeed. Yep, so pretty much the Cowboys were successful over the Saints 13-10. Even though I didn't do any picks, I was going to pick the Saints originally, but as for other ones too, just to go through some, well, let's just do mine pretty much. The Ravens were successful over the Falcons 26-16 as Lamar Jackson, was injured while in the game. He was taken out, so they had to go to third string RG3. Yes, Robert Griffin III to take his spot. Only for a few plays. I mean, he did all right. I mean, he didn't do the best. He gave the ball to the running back a few times. I forgot his name, but he did throw it a few times, but it didn't matter. The Ravens still won the game, and I'm glad they did. And not only that, the Steelers lost to the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. And I was like, thank you.
Of course, that's every Ravens fan's wish is to see the Steelers lose.
Yeah, but I mean, even though Roethlisberger is a good quarterback and he plays pretty well, but the team was so aggressive. I mean, 3 times the Chargers go for the game-winning field goal, and 3 times they get charged or get a penalty for the offsides thing. The first time the field goal was bad, then they call him for offsides. The second time they jumped again and they blocked it, and they get another offsides. The third time goes through. It's a charm. It's third time's a charm, and of course they called him for offsides again, but it was a win, and there you go. Even though the Chargers are in the hunt too as well, but still, it just helps the Ravens' chances now getting back into first place. But we shall see. And now we'll stop with that, and now we'll get into the games for week number 14. So here we are.
Let's do it.
All right, so first game on tap is, of course, our Thursday. It's been a while. Thursday night football matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. So, pretty much the Jaguars had decided to bench their quarterback, Blake Bortles, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm not too thrilled about that choice. I mean, for one, the Jaguars, looked like they were going to be a team that would at least win, I thought we were going to win at least 10 games or so this year, but pretty much that's not going to happen. But now they're facing the 6-6 Tennessee Titans at home in Tennessee, and by the way, the Jaguars won 6-0 over the Colts. 6-0. That's like a baseball score.
Yeah.
But for my pick in this one, this is a pretty decent matchup. I mean, the Titans are still in the hunt, though, for the wild card, along with the Ravens and the Chargers. But the Ravens, in my opinion, are trying to get back to the first place. But for this matchup, this should be a pretty nice one, but I like the Titans in this one. The Jaguars, like I said about them, with the issue with Blake Bortles, I don't know who is starting for them, but I just like the Titans more in this. So give me the Titans over the Jaguars, 23-16.
Interesting. Yeah, I kind of disagree with them benching Bortles as well, but I mean, they've had they've lost 5 in a row, 6 in a row now, and
something like that.
Yeah, and they had they started off with a pretty darn good defense, but I don't remember what happened in between, because Cowboys really took control of them a few weeks ago, and Titans they're looking okay. Looking at here, Titans are 4-1 at home. They're right now. I'm reading from ESPN.com. Right now, the Titans are picked by 5.5. I think I will take the Titans. I will take the points, or I'll give the points to the Jaguars. I'm going to say the Titans. I say they'll go 27-17.
Okay. And that's it for that. Now we just move on to our Sunday games. And
okay,
this one we'll just do. It's right on the list. And according to NFL.com, that's how I'm doing mine. But Tim can always say who his favorite in this, so I'll just do that. So anyway, our first one for Sunday is the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. So there you go. Buffalo Wild Wings is a good place. But anyway, so this is in New Airfield, of course, in Buffalo. And who is the favorite? Just to ask, I'm pretty sure it's the Bills, but
yes, the Bills are picked by 3.5.
Aha. So yeah, the Bills have got off to a really horrible start, and then they wound up going through so many quarterbacks, and the Jets, on the other hand, only have 3 victories. So not really a fantastic matchup. I mean, the Bills are coming off a loss to the Miami Dolphins, 21-17, while the Jets come off their loss to the Titans 26-22. So both of these teams are pretty much looking for a victory, and the team I picked for the victory, all right, call me crazy on this one, but I'm actually going to pick the Jets in this one over the Bills. Man,
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, sometimes, I go with the favorites. Like, sometimes I'll say, okay, I'll go with the favorite to win, or sometimes it may change it up. So I'm going to change it up right now for this one. I'm going with the Jets over the Bills. Not by much, though. I say by a close field goal, like near the end, well, to the end of the fourth quarter, and I say Jets 26 and Bills 23.
Interesting. Well, from what it seems here, Jets 3-9, Bills 4-8. This would probably be my week's version of the 2018 Roto-Rooter Toilet Bowl. This is not an attractive game, obviously. I just wish that the Jets would put in my hometown boy from my hometown of Jacksonville, Texas, Josh McCown, in there. But yeah, Josh has had his ups and downs, and I'm actually, like I said, it's Bills by 3.5. I'll take the Bills, give the points. I'm going to call it a kind of a low-scoring game, 20-14.
Yeah, not really a fantastic matchup, but you never know with these kind of matchups. I mean, 6-0. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next one. We have the New York Giants taking on the Washington Redskins in Landover, Maryland. So pretty much the Redskins have now lost two quarterbacks, Alex Smith, I believe, and Colt McCoy, if I'm not mistaken. So now they need to go to another quarterback, and honestly, I don't know who it's going to be. I have not heard if anybody knows who the quarterback is going to be, because I know they signed Mark Sanchez, I think, but
Yes, they did. They signed Mark Sanchez, and uh, when I heard that, I had to laugh
well,
because
everybody does.
at one time last year, or it was 2 years ago, that the Cowboys actually had Mark Sanchez on the roster, and I was like, when Jerry Jones does something like that, he sounds desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only a desperate person would make a decision like that.
Yeah. Well, as for this matchup, as I said, I'm not sure who is starting for the Redskins. I mean, there was talk, they said, about Colin Kaepernick, but they said no to him. So I'm like, well, okay. But as for this matchup, if it winds up being Sanchez, I mean, you never know, because everybody keeps bringing up the butt fumble thing, but you never know. Something may happen. He may put on a good show, or then again, he may not. But for this matchup, though, I'm actually going to go with the Giants. I know that's probably a little interesting, too, for that one, but the Giants have been doing okay. I mean, I want to say if they won in the last game they played, and yes, they did, over the Bears in overtime, 30-27. So there you go. But once again, Giants over the Redskins, 23-18.
23-18. That's a very interesting score. The Giants are picked by 3.5. I think the Giants are really starting to warm up now, but unfortunately, in my opinion, it's a little too late.
Yep.
And the Redskins are still trying to fight to get a chance inside. I think the Redskins are still in playoff contention. They're still in the hunt to get maybe a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Redskins just holding behind the Eagles and Cowboys. Of course, we'll be talking about them a little bit later because they have a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Giants are kind of really starting to warm up here, and if they start Mark Sanchez, I do not trust Sanchez. I just don't. Even with his days with the Jets, I can't remember who else he played for. I know he played for the Cowboys either last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. didn't do nothing for us there. So I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to take the points, or take the Giants, give the points, and my score is going to be 21-17. I'm going with the G-Men.
G-Men, the Ghostbusters. No. Well, it starts with a G. Anyway, so this next matchup, now, this, in my opinion, is probably going to be a no-brainer, but if anybody goes with this team to beat this one, I mean, it was bad. Well, in my opinion, well, it was strange enough them losing to the Cowboys, but this team beating them on this game just seems impossible. The Saints and the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. So, yeah, the Saints got off to a pretty good start, and they're still doing pretty well. They're 10-2, and the Buccaneers got off to a pretty good start too with the hashtag Fitzmagic thing. But all that's
what happened? What happened to that?
it disappeared.
Yeah.
Like Jameson Winston, who wasn't with the team for a while. But anyway, so if anybody, like I said, picks this team to upset the Saints, I mean, that could be a possibility, but I don't really see it happen in this one. I like the Saints definitely in this one. I think they're going to score a heck of a lot more than 10 points, though, in that last game. I think this is going to be more like Saints 33 and Buccaneers 21.
Yeah, I am definitely taking the Saints. I mean, I think they're still trying to get that taste out of their mouth from the loss to the Cowboys. And right now it says the line is Saints by 8. That is kind of a low number in my opinion. I would say the line should be Saints by 12. I'm going to take the Saints, give the points, and they're going to be fighting mad as this one. I'm taking the Saints, and I see a score of maybe 35-20.
Yeah. Okay, so our next one. Oh, great. This team. Okay. Our next one is a battle between another one of our friends' favorite teams. Well, it's pretty much an AFC East matchup, if I'm not mistaken. This is between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins in Miami. So, yeah, there's always been some games of these two teams. I mean, usually when they play each other, they're pretty good. And I know Alex Putnam, A Pizzle 90, who's a big fan of the Dolphins, fins up, as he always says, but he'll probably be going to this game. Then again, he may not, but he usually goes to them a lot. But sorry, Alex, I unfortunately have to go with the Patriots in this one. I mean, as I said many times, Tom Brady is like, what, 40, 41 years old, whatever he is now, and
41.
Thank you. And now he's playing like he's 25 again, and he's playing pretty good. So, as for the Dolphins, they're still in the hunt for the playoffs with a 6-6 record, and it's going to be a battle between them pretty much with the Chargers and the Ravens and Titans. So, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I have the Patriots over the Dolphins. Final score 28-19.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting score right now. Line is Patriots by 7.5. I will gladly take the Patriots and gladly give the points. Patriots have a 3-3 record away from the big razor blade. The Dolphins have a great 5-1 home record, but I think Patriots are still first place in their division. I really don't think there should be anything to give me any cause to pause. I'm going to take the Patriots, and I'm going to say it's going to be, let's say, 28-21. I will take the Patriots on the road in Miami, 28-21. That's my score.
Okay. All right, so let's do this one as we'll do them in a second. So our next one is a battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the in my opinion, surprisingly Houston Texans, who are 9-3. I mean, the Colts come off the loss against the Jaguars, 6-0, and the Texans come off the win against the Cleveland Browns, 29-13. So, pretty much in this one, this should be a pretty decent matchup. I mean, I'm sure the Colts are probably still in the hunt too with a 6-6 record, but the Texans, not sure like what place they're in for their division. They may be in like first or second, but I'm not sure. So,
let me take a look at that right now.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right now the AFC South, the Texans have the lead with a 9-3 record. The Colts are even at 6-6. The Titans are 6-6, and the Jaguars are 4-8.
All right. So I don't have the standings up on here, so that's all right. Just going over like scores, but anyways,
that's all right, buddy. That's why you got me.
right. All right. So anyway, my pick in this one is the Texans. I mean, not to be like, no, I'm not going to bash Andrew Luck. I mean, I was going to say something about him, but I mean, I like Andrew Luck. He's a pretty, good quarterback. He's been filling the shoes of Peyton Manning for a while, and, he's trying to do the best he can. He was injured last year, and he's trying to keep his team in the playoffs while who is the quarterback for the Texans? Because
I still want to say Deshaun Watson.
Okay, because I just try and remember the names here. Just bear with me, folks. It's been a while since I've done these picks. But anyway,
right.
I'm in favor of the Texans once again over the Colts. I'll just say 28-17 for this matchup.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good score from me. Houston is picked by 5. Once again, I take the Texans, give the points. Texans are just red hot right now. They're like one of the surprises in the NFL. Deshaun Watson has really come of age here lately. He's still a young quarterback. He's still got a long way to go, but he's really impressing a lot of people. I am going to take the Texans at Energy Field or Energy Stadium, whatever they call it now, and I will take the Texans 28-17.
Yeah, and it's NRG Stadium as it says on here. So
well, it's actually pronounced Energy.
Okay, it says NRG, but okay, Energy. All right, I get it. Yeah. Anywho, let's move on.
It's kind of like reading those license plates from that game show Bumper Stumpers.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Moving on.
Yeah, next one. Atlanta Falcons and Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. So the Green Bay Packers have fired their head coach, Mike McCarthy, who's been with them for a while. So how's that going to work out? I mean, who is the replacement? Because I don't think I read who it is.
I think it's their offensive coordinator. I want to say.
I don't know his name, so. Well, anyway, I'll just get through it. So the Falcons, pretty much, they did pretty well against the Ravens. Like I said, I mean, Matt Ryan, was pretty good, and the rest of the team was, put up a pretty good matchup. I mean, I like the Falcons. I remember back in the day when they had Michael Vick and their running back Warwick Dunn, who was pretty good. And I think they had a wide.
Do you remember their wide receiver Andre Rison? He was a bad man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember him, but I didn't see him play a lot. But yeah, he was Peerless Price, another player that used to play for him. He was pretty good too, and so. But as for this matchup, best of luck to the new coach of the Green Bay Packers, whoever.
That would be Joe Philbin.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Okay, well. Anyway, so for this matchup, this should be a pretty good one. Man, I don't know how it shall go, but my pick, even though they've been struggling, I say the Packers get back into the win column. I'm gonna go with them. The Falcons, like I said, did pretty good, and I think they will put up a pretty good fight in this one. But I think the Packers are just gonna pull away with the victory and get the Lambeau Leap win. So there you go. Packers over the Falcons. 26-23.
Oh, you have a 3-point victory like I do. I was thinking
Ooh.
that this would be a very close victory here. The Packers are picked by 5.5 right now. I am going to take the Packers, but I say it will be a 3-point win. Let's call it, I want to call it 27-24. Go with the Pack.
All right. All right, next one. This is not well. Actually, I take that back. I thought their record's a little different. This is a matchup, excuse me, between the Carolina Panthers and the Cleveland Browns at the Dog Pound at the First Energy Stadium, as it says on here. So, the Panthers got off to a pretty good start, and the Browns once again come off their loss against the Texans, and the Panthers, as I'm just looking up to see what they did in week 13, they lost to the Buccaneers 24-17. All right, so both teams are looking for a victory, and who shall get the victory? Well, as I said many times, we don't want another tie. I mean, we had enough of them in the early season, but
Yeah.
there's no way. I don't think this game will go into a tie. My pick is the Panthers in this one. I mean, the Browns, put up some points against the Texans, and I just like the Panthers more in this one. So give me Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith of the Panthers. No, that's not who plays for them. I was looking up classic scores of NFL from 2006, and I was just looking up former players. So Panthers once again over the Browns. They will beat what's that guy used to play for the Browns? Not Trent Dilfer, Jeff Garcia and the running back Jamal Lewis. So give me the Panthers over the Browns. Final score 26-13.
Oh, you brought up a blast from the past, Jake Delhomme, and of course you bring up Jeff Garcia. Man, those are pretty good quarterbacks in their time.
Yeah.
So you're going with the Panthers. I think this will be the first time that you and I disagree. I am
Yeah.
actually going to I'm taking the Browns in this one. Carolina's picked by 2. I
Wow.
think the Panthers are kind of a little bit in disarray. The Browns are playing at home, and you know how that Browns fan base is. Even though they keep losing, the fans are still faithful. I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually going to have to disagree with you on this one. I'm taking the Browns. I'm going to pick them by 3 points. I'm going to say kind of a low scoring game. I'm going to say 20-17. Go
Wow.
for the Browns.
Wow. Alrighty. Well, okay, so that will just leave one game left here, and that is, of course, this one. And that's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, I will let Mr. McClellan go first so I can give my thoughts after him.
Excuse me, won't you?
Sure. You're muted. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. If you're trying to say something, fix your mic.
Oh,
now,
Steve,
now, now, now I
the
can.
look on your face, man, that is absolutely priceless.
And I thought you were a friend. Oh boy, oh
Don't
boy.
don't don't worry, folks. We're still going to be buddies even when this thing is over.
Yeah.
Well, Ravens. Okay, let's say this: the Ravens are starting to warm up. This Lamar Jackson kid, he has come onto the scene, and ever since then, the Ravens have won 3 games in a row. So let me give you this. Let me get your opinion, Steve, Mr. Raven.
Okay.
Okay, is this you know that show NFL Live? They do Overreaction Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They make a statement and then they think if it's an overreaction or not an overreaction. Let me get your opinion.
All right.
Is this an overreaction or not? Joe Flacco will be playing for a different team next year.
I agree with that. I mean, I believe it happening.
Yeah, because this kid Jackson, he's really lighting it up, and
Yeah.
Ravens right now have a 7-3 record, and they're doing great. They're starting to click again, and but this is the part where I have to disappoint you.
Hey, well, it's part of it. I mean, yeah, it's all good.
As you people can see, I'm wearing number 15 because of a young man who just now cut that out.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm not only representing my second favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs, I am representing a native of East Texas. He grew up, I think, about an hour away from me where I live, Patrick Mahomes Jr., whose father was once a professional baseball player, East Texas boy. This kid has been setting the NFL on fire. I mean, this kid is about to break some records here. And a lot of people forget that this is his second year in the league. He was drafted last year, but was backup to Alex Smith before the Chiefs decided, hey, we've had enough of Alex Smith. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex Smith wound up with the Washington Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, the one terrible thing for the Chiefs was, of course, the release of Kareem Hunt, who was having a great year until this little scandal, this little incident came up, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, there's pretty much zero tolerance for that kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you can be a great football player, but if you're not a good human being, then I guess you have no business there. But
Right.
I understand that the Chiefs have reached out to a former running back they did have, Charkandrick West.
Mm-hmm.
They reached out to him, and I think he is go ahead and re-signed with the team. So they'll have him and Spencer Ware in the backfield. And last week I didn't start Travis Kelce last week on one of my fantasy teams. Boy, was that a mistake because Travis Kelce lit it up last week. um, right now the line here is KC by 6.5. I will take the Chiefs. I will give the points. I would see another 30-point game from from the Chiefs. I see another 300-yard game from Patrick Mahomes, and this is going to be Chiefs 28, Ravens 24.
All right, so how am I gonna top all that? Well, let's just say so as for what happened with the Ravens and the Falcons game, I mean, I'm Lamar Jackson got off to a pretty good start, but people keep complaining like sometimes and say, why does he keep running the ball a lot? Why does he keep doing that more than passing? Well, for one, he's a lot smaller than Flacco. He's not as tall as Flacco, and he's a lot skinnier than Flacco. And another thing, not to be rude, he's younger. He's 21 years old, I believe, and this guy was drafted in the draft, which surprised everybody, and it surprised everybody that Lamar Jackson has been starting now and he's been winning. However, the games that we have been won against teams that have not been so great. The Bengals, I believe, the Raiders, and now the Falcons. So now we're facing the Kansas City Chiefs, and pretty much, in my opinion, this is all the remaining games for the Ravens, in my opinion, are must win. There's no turning back. However, people are saying that Joe Flacco needs to start this game. In my opinion, I don't know about that. I mean, Lamar Jackson is doing pretty well. He did throw 2 interceptions in the one game against the Raiders, but he did bounce back against the Falcons. But in my opinion, I don't want Flacco starting because, for one, like Tim said to me, there is a possibility of him leaving the Ravens next year and going somewhere else. I definitely agree with that. I mean, because, for one, he's like 32 or 33 years old or something like that. He's kind of a veteran. This is a guy that took over for Kyle Bowler back in 2008 and Troy Smith, the guy who went to like Ohio State or something and won the Heisman Trophy or something. So, yeah, but in my opinion, like I said again, I mean, if Lamar Jackson starts, then that's good. But I mean, Flacco has been banged up with the hip injury, and Flacco was on a pace to possibly throw for over 4,000 yards this year, and then he winds up getting injured, and Lamar Jackson steps in. So now, the Kansas City Chiefs have been doing pretty well with their 10-2 record. Patrick Mahomes, like Tim said, is pretty much just, is unstoppable. I mean, a couple of games, there should have been a couple of games they should have won. In my opinion, they probably should have at least 11 victories by now, but they have 2 losses. So now, yeah, I know this is pretty much, a thing, I do a lot of times, but I know this is, going to piss off a lot of people, but my pick is of course the Ravens. I'm definitely going with them. I mean, this is going to be a really good matchup. I mean,
Oh, yes, yes. I'll be interested in seeing this one if one of my local stations will pick this game up.
I hope so too. I mean, but anyway, I definitely have to go with my hometown team. I mean, if we lose to the Chiefs, it's fine with me. But the rest of the games we still have to win. But it all depends on how the other teams do, like the Titans and the Dolphins and the Steelers and all that, but we'll get into them in a second. But like I said, if we wind up losing this game, it's fine with me, and there you go. So once again, I have the Ravens over the Chiefs as well. Well, Tim's pick, but I'm just saying that this is my pick. Anyway, I say Ravens 28 and the Chiefs 26.
Okay, let me check here. They got the Chiefs on Sunday. I'm taking a look at the rest of the Ravens schedule. They have the Buccaneers,
Chargers,
Chargers, and Browns.
Yes.
I can see the Ravens going at least 2 out of 3 for those games. At least 2 out of 3.
Yeah, because the Chargers is going to be a tough one, but that's at a later time.
Oh yeah.
But we shall see. But anyway, Let's get back into it, as now we're going to move on to our 4 o'clock games, shall we? So let's start with this one. We got the Denver Broncos taking on the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium. So the Broncos have a 6-6 record, and the 49ers got only 2 victories. So it's a battle between, let's do more old school, Peyton Manning and Colin Kaepernick. How about that? But I just like to...
Let's go. Why don't we go more old school? How about John Elway versus Joe Montana?
Yeah, better choice. All right, so we got Mr. Elway and his running back Terrell Davis facing Joe Montana and his running back, is it Ricky Waters, or I don't know who the running back. Well, it doesn't really matter, but he has his wide receiver, Mr. Jerry Rice. So
the greatest receiver of all time.
Oh yeah. But, however, I like the Broncos more in this one. I like John Elway and Terrell Davis and the rest of his defense. I think they've got a better chance in this one. The 49ers have been banged up, so just give me the Broncos in this one. 26-18.
Yeah, I can see this one. The Broncos are picked by 4. I think they'll probably the margin of victory will be more than that. I say Let's give the Broncos a 7-point victory. 21-14 Broncos over the Niners.
Yeah. Then our next one, we have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Still want to call them the San Diego Chargers, but
Yeah.
of course at Rocket Field at StubHub Center. Lovely name. So for this matchup, well, of course, Andy Dalton is not the quarterback because he's on injured reserve, but Phillip Rivers, who is still playing pretty well with the Chargers, the old school matchup would probably be Boomer Esiason, and for the Chargers, Dan Fouts, I guess. I don't know if he played for the Chargers, though. I think he did. But
Yeah, Dan Fouts was, I think, a quarterback for the Chargers. One of the greatest quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl.
yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, so for this matchup, I like the Charge in this one. I mean, because the Bengals, them losing their quarterback, Dalton, is not really a good thing for them, and they kind of would need him in this matchup to face this team, the Chargers, because they got a 9-3 record, and they're doing pretty well, and so give me the Chargers over this one, and this one over the Bengals. 33-21.
Interesting. They have. This is probably the biggest line here for this week. The Chargers are picked by 14. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take those Chargers. I'll give the points, and I'm going to say, let's say, Chargers. Let's say 21. I'm just going to say 24. I'm going to say, well, let's see. If it's a 14-point line, I'm going to say 34-17. Take the San Diego Superchargers, even though they're in LA right now. I still want to say San Diego too.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
All right, next one, we have a battle between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. So, at State Farm's Arena, where you'll find Jake from State Farm. So, for this matchup, we got, who's that quarterback used to play for the Lions? Trying to think of like a legend quarterback that played for the Lions.
Scott Mitchell.
Oh yeah, I think he was a Raven one time back in the day, but okay. And for the Cardinals,
Scott Mitchell, back when he had the great Barry Sanders in the backfield.
Yep. And for the Cardinals, well, the only one I can think of pretty much is Kurt Warner, but
or maybe Steve Berline. Did he play for the Cardinals?
Yeah, I think he did. Steve,
I think he did.
For the running back, I don't really know, but for this matchup, this is not really the best matchup. I mean, because the Cardinals only got 3 victories and the Lions only got 4. In my opinion, well, I don't know if the Lions are still in the hunt. I mean, they could be, but I think the Cardinals are pretty much out. I mean, there's another team that's already eliminated, but we'll get to them soon. And I'm pretty sure the 49ers are eliminated. But anyway, I like the Lions in this over the Cardinals. Give me the Lions for the victory. Oh my, 27-17, 10 points.
Interesting section there. I too am going to go for the Lions. They are picked by 3. I'm going to say it's a low-scoring game here. Got Matthew Stafford for the Lions. I can't remember who the quarterback is for the Cardinals now. I think Carson Palmer. He retired, I think.
Yeah, he did.
At the end of last year or right before this year started. So
yeah,
I don't really know this. Taking the Lions, give them the points. Let's call it a moderate score here. How about 23-20? Lions take it.
All right, sounds good. Well, here's another matchup that does not sound so good, and this is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. Lordy. Terry Bradshaw and Kenny Stabler.
Oh, yes, Ken Stabler, God rest his soul.
Yes, rest in peace. Well, but in reality, Ben Roethlisberger and Derek
Uh,
Carr.
Derek Carr.
I want to say David Carr so much, but he used to play for the Texans. I don't think Dave.
Yeah, he played for the Texans. And yeah, Derek Carr, I think, was the very first quarterback that played for the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So as for this matchup, the Raiders are already eliminated from playoff contention, and they've gotten rid of a lot of players. Khalil Mack, whatever his name is, they hired John Gruden to be their coach. In my opinion, was way too much money. But next year should be a rebuilding year for them, pretty much. I mean, um, Derek Carr is a pretty good quarterback, though. I will give him credit. I mean, but the season's just been, in my opinion, a disappointment. And
Absolutely.
the Steelers do come off the loss against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and yes, they are battling with the Ravens for the AFC North, pretty much, as I said. But I mean, in my opinion, I'd like to see an upset here, but can't do that. So unfortunately, have to go with the Steelers over the Raiders. I mean, not something I do a lot, but so Steelers over the Raiders. Oh God, 33-16.
Yeah, I predict a blowout as well here. Pittsburgh's picked by 10.5. Raiders are, I mean, it was almost like the Raiders were trying to buy back the past, which I think they did, but unfortunately it's gone against them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously going to take the Steelers. I'm going to give the points. We're going to call it a 28-17 Steelers.
Yeah. Not a very fantastic matchup. But for this next one, this shall be a pretty good match. Well, for one person, and I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm talking about.
I think I know, if you'll excuse me yet again.
Okay. Having to change once again.
There we go. Let's talk.
All right. How was I supposed to know he was going to have two teams on, people? All right. So that is, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. My new phone carrier, by the way. But anyway, we're not talking about phones. We're talking about this game. So I'll do this one, as I'll let Mr. McClellan, do this, as I did. We did Ravens and Chiefs, and now we'll do this. So here we go. This actually should be a really good matchup. I mean, these two teams definitely have a good matchup against each other, whether if it's Sunday Night Football or if it's a Sunday game or even Monday Night Football. They always put up a good matchup, and this should be a really good matchup. I like both of these teams in this one. I mean, the Eagles come off their victory against the Redskins, while the Cowboys somehow beat the Saints. That's all I'm going to say. But this, like I said, in my opinion, should be a pretty good matchup. And, I mean, just pretty much, I was thinking about that this game could possibly go to overtime, because I don't really pick a lot of games that go to overtime. But if it does go to that, I wouldn't be surprised. So, my pick in this one is going to be, I'm going with the Cowboys in this one. I like their shot in this one. I mean, it should be a really good matchup, and I think it's going to be pretty close, though. But, the Eagles being at 6-6, I thought they'd be a little bit better than this after winning the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys got a 7-5 record. I just like the Cowboys more in this one. So give me the Cowboys over the Eagles, 32-27.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a high score there. All right. Here we go. This certain defensive linebacker, I think his name is Camus Grugier-Hill.
Whatever it is.
Linebacker for the Eagles. He made this statement. I don't know if it was on Twitter. He says, look at Dallas's history. They always choke. So we'll go down there and make them choke. End of quote. Well, that's not the same Cowboys. I think Cowboys riding some high momentum, especially 1 week ago against the Saints, where, like I said, nobody gave the Cowboys a chance against the Saints. Saints scores at least 35 points a game, and the Cowboys held them to just 10 Thursday night. Yeah, we are going to. This is when it comes to Eagles and Cowboys. This rivalry goes back. I mean, yeah, it's been a divisional rivalry for a very long time, but it really heated up back in 1989. Jimmy Johnson's first year with the Cowboys, and the Eagles just totally destroyed the Cowboys. I remember at the old Veterans Stadium, they used to throw snowballs at Jimmy Johnson all the time. There was a time when the Bounty Bowl, when they tried to physically injure Troy Aikman, and they tried to physically injure the Cowboys kicker. I think his name was it Mark or Luis Zendejas? I can't remember.
Something like
And
that.
ever since then, this rivalry has been heated up. It's been over 20 years, and it just gets better and better and better. And I'm going to say the Cowboys are really heating it up right where they need to, because right now, looking at the rest of the schedule, I have it up here on a whiteboard calendar that I have up on my wall. We have the Colts on the 16th. That's the only other concern that I have. But after that, they have the Buccaneers, and then they have the Giants to wrap it up. I can see them winning those leagues too. But this one here, the Cowboys are going to take it. The Cowboys are going to make this linebacker eat his words. We're going to feast on those Eagles, and when we're done with them, hey, I would love to toss all those Eagles into that giant Salvation Army kettle. Right. Right now, the line is Cowboys by 3.5, which I think that's kind of a low number. I would say Cowboys by 7. I'm gonna say Cowboys take this one. I say maybe 2 rushing touchdowns from Zeke. I say at least 1 rushing touchdown from Dak Prescott, and maybe a couple of more touchdowns passing. 1, 2, there's 1. That's going to be 5 touchdowns, 35 points. I don't know if they're going to take it. I'm going to say 35-28. Cowboys take this one, and they shut those Eagles up.
Wow. All right. Okay, so now we're done with those. Now we'll just move on to our Sunday Night Football matchup. And this one should be pretty much a pretty good matchup. It's a battle between 2 teams that got pretty good records, but one that has a record that has only 1 loss. And that is, of course, the LA Rams taking on the Chicago Bears, the Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago. So, in my opinion, this is probably going to be a pretty cold matchup because it may be the Windy City, as they call Chicago, and for this matchup, it's going to be a pretty good matchup, as I said. I mean, the Rams have just 1 loss, as I said. I mean, yeah, that's pretty amazing. I mean, that's awesome, actually. And the Bears, with an 8-4 record, I thought the Bears maybe would just... I just didn't expect them maybe to have like 8 wins and only 4 losses, but that's really impressive. So, once again, this should be a pretty good matchup, but I like the Rams in this one. I like them more. The Bears will probably put up a pretty good fight as well, but I think the Rams just get the victory over the Bears. So, let's go Rams. Even though I don't really do scores a lot, but I like to just for the heck of it. So, Rams 28 and Bears 21.
Interesting there. Yeah, it is going to be a cold game because according to the AccuWeather forecast here, game time temperature will be about 36 degrees.
Whew.
So, yeah, I do not like that. I would have to bundle up real good to be able to withstand that weather. Actually, right now, where is my cell phone? We've been getting a little bit of cool weather here down in Texas right now.
Yeah.
We have right now it is okay, hold on. Let me well, actually let's just say it's cold.
Yeah.
Right now. Well, right now here it is 36 degrees. 36 degrees where I am right now. It is cold. 36 degrees feels like 32. Yeah, that is very cold.
Got even 40 degrees here. So.
I'm sorry to say, but this I don't think this Bears team is ready for this Rams team. These LA Rams, they have just been one of the surprise teams, in my opinion, to have a record of 11-1, and they've already wrapped up the NFC Western Division.
Yep.
They really don't have, well, they could probably wrap up home field advantage throughout maybe at least the first round bye if they win this one. I'm taking the Rams. They're picked by 3, which is kind of low in my opinion.
Definitely.
I'm going to say the Rams at least by 10. Let's call it 28-20. Rams take this one easily.
All right, and that will bring us to dun 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum,
Oh yeah.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Monday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Honestly, in my opinion, not really like a fantastic matchup. I mean, it's decent, but just it's just not bad. Usually, like when honestly, I don't think the Ravens got picked or whatever to play at all on Monday Night Football at all this year. I don't think they did. I know they did a Sunday Night Football with the Steelers and the Sunday games, but I don't really think the Ravens had a Monday Night Football matchup. I don't think so. But anyway, like I said, usually when it's like teams like if it's like Patriots or like Patriots and Chiefs or something or that matchup when it was the Rams and what was that other team? They scored like 50 some points. Or was it Rams and Chiefs? I think
It was the Rams and Chiefs Monday
Yep.
Night Football. That
Yep.
was a game for the ages.
Yes, indeed it was. I mean, we need more matchups like that. But
Yes.
But as for this matchup, I mean, like I said, it's an alright matchup, but between this one, it's in Seattle at CenturyLink Field. So, who's the favorite in this one, may I ask?
Right now, Seattle is picked by 3.
Figured. Alright. You know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one over the Seahawks. So, more than 3 points, so I say a little bit over 10. So, Vikings for the win, 28-18, 10 points.
I kind of see it going that way too. I mean, like you said, this is not a spectacular game. I'd say this is like just above average for a game like this. I'm going to take, well, it's going to be a hard pick, but yeah, I'd go with the home team. If you can't really decide, just pick the home team is a rule of thumb here. I'm going to take the Seahawks, although I'm not exactly confident. I'm going to say it's going to be a real close game here. Say 21-18. Yeah, 21-18. I'll take the Hawks.
Hawks. Not the basketball team, the Atlanta Hawks, Seahawks, but there you go.
Right.
All right, so that is going to do it. So that's all the games we have covered. So if anybody does like this video, as always, I usually say, and hold on 1 second, I can turn on my light, get dark in here. But anyway, so if you do have a pick in this for these games, you people are always welcome to say your comments below and like say who you think shall win. So, and you can also subscribe to my channel if you like, because as I always say, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, and you can comment as well. And as always, no negative stuff. And as always, I'd like to thank Mr. Tim McClellan for joining me for this video. It's been a while, like I said. I've known this guy since 2014, I believe it was. And
I believe so. I think that's correct.
yes, and he's a good friend. He's a sports fellow like me. I mean, he we should do this more often. We should definitely do more picks. Hopefully in the future we can. And
Oh yeah.
but we all have other things to do as well. We're busy and stuff. Whatever we have to do. But anyways, so thank you once again for joining me, Tim. I really appreciate it. So
Hey, it was a pleasure, Steve. Great to be here.
awesome. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up once again for this. So you already know the drill. So thanks again for watching the Week 14 NFL picks. So this is Chris Berman and my partner. I don't know what to call him. Let's just
That would be Tom Jackson.
right. Well, yeah. So enjoy the games as always, and as always, to say in closing, he could go all the way. So thank you once again for watching us. Enjoy. You all take care, and thank you again for watching the Week 14 NFL picks.